What's up, guys? Welcome back. So in the last session, I kind of left us with things not working with the async and creating to-dos. So now we're going to rework things. What I'm going to do is we're going to edit the server and just let you pass an API key using this a mutation. So what does that mean? We're going to go into GraphQL and into resolvers. No, first schema. So root mutation query viewer now needs to take a token, which is just going to be a string, and that's required. Sign up login, that's fine, and then this is going to require a token, which is a string. So notice how we're passing the tokens in with our mutations now. Now with our resolvers, data, create. So this is going to be what we don't want to pass in. So we need to basically grab the text boolean, which is complete, and token. Here we can pass in the token. Here we pass in text and complete. And then viewer, root, args. Args is just going to be a token. We'll just say data. Passing in the data. Okay. Now let's restart the server. Now we should be able to create to-dos from here. So let's first log in. Email is equal to bob@bob.com, and password is equal to bob. Now it creates this token. Now I can actually create to-do, text being hello, complete being true, and token being that long nonsense prettify. And we're actually able to create a to-do. Okay. So now we can now do this from our application, our to-do app. So first let's save this. So git status, git add, commit, pass token as parameter to mutation. Start the server back up, and we're going to hop back over here. The first thing we're going to mess with, just foreground. First thing we're going to mess with is source reducers index. We no longer need to worry about passing in authorization, because that's not how we're going to do auth anymore. Get token, we can put this guy in our epics. So we have save token and we have get token. So that side's looking good. So save token, token saved, error, that's fine. This is if there's some kind of error. We don't need flux. Okay, so save token saves it to that. So what we would basically want to create another epic now, which saves, we want to now save the token and the reducer. So let's create a reducer and get out of here. So this is a very simple token. This is going to be export default. The state is going to be a string. And the default is going to be empty. Action, and this is going to be a function. The switch action.type. Default, just return state. And then case action, or our type will be save token. And we return action.token. So now in our reducers, index, import token from token, and now we have a token which we can now add. So when do we want to call this or initiate this action? So whenever we save the token right here. And I think on login succeeded, we want to issue another action. We don't really care about set item succeeded too much. I think we actually want to do it in our epics actions. I think we want to do it right here. So login succeeded, we're passing in the data, right? Actually, maybe we want to just like, the only thing login succeeded is doing is saving the token, and then, okay. Change my mind of how I want to do this. So we save the token. And then we pass this thing. We actually don't care about it. This is a nasty little expansion to get the token. What we should really just be passing here is the data, the token like this. And then in our routes, epic, nope, not our epics. In our routes, login view, data dot data dot login dot token. And then we want to also do login succeeded, add token. I think, what do we call it in our reducer? We'll just match that name. Save token. That's not really, I don't like this name of the action. We'll say why not call it save token? No, save token is not a good name. It needs to be like, we're putting the token in the props. Expose token is not a good name either. I'll just say add token to props. Add token to props. That's the best name. I like that name. To props. Add token to props, passing in the token. I like that name. It's a lot more expressive. Routes, login, actions. Let's make sure that still works. Token. Add token to props. Pass it in the token. And then add token to props. Alright, cool. So we're calling that function after the login succeeded, which will save that to the props. We want that. We'll just run that real quick and make sure it's working. Let's get this guy over here. Oh, we actually don't have the login page. Unterminated. That's fine. We can test this later. The other thing is, on this index page, and the constructor props super props, I just want to this dot props dot I want to basically dispatch an action out. And how do I want to do this? So whenever the app loads, I'd like to add the token, if it's saved in the async storage, to the Redux state. So this props get token from storage. This dot props get token from storage. That's a decent name for it. And we can call it, we need to map now this action to the props here. So what we can do for this is we can actually just do the same. I don't like having a view on this layer, but we might need to. Okay. This is kind of gross, but we're going to do it. So reducer. Oh, I really hate this now. I'm just thinking what I want to do for my naming schema, because right now I have this right that's being called in the constructor, and what I wanted to do is grab the token. And actually, you know what? Maybe we don't want to grab the token right now. I think what we want to do is we want to authenticate. We want to see if the user is logged in or not, right? To check if they're logged in, we have to get the token, and then we redirect them to different pages. No, this is fine. No, it's not fine. Can we change the... I'm just thinking how I want to do this. How do I want to, when I open the app and I basically come to this page, if I'm a logged in user versus when I'm not a logged in user, that's fine, I can comment this out for now. How I want to handle this, because that's something we should do now. Because if you're not a logged in user, it should take you to one page. So I kind of want to look up how other apps do this. Because to check if they're logged in, I need to check the async storage, get the token, and see. So I'm trying to think if I can do this with redux-js. I think I can. Routes. And then this will be like our redirect engine. Okay, so why don't we create an epic? Const check if logged. Check if logged in. I like the name sign. I like sign in better. Signed in. So this is going to be in our action. Action $ dot of type check if signed in. And what do we want to do if they're signed in? Or what do we do to check if they're signed in? We're going to be doing basically this, right? Except now we are getting the token. So we're empty if we're doing blank. So now we say if this is our token, if token is equal to is empty, then they're logged in, and we React Native router. It should be something on how to sign them in. Detailed example. Actually, it'll be in mini tutorial, I think. Well, this is kind of how we want to do it. I'm trying to find to see where they switch. Actions.login. I don't think that's what we're doing. Actions.page2. I'm assuming that's the key that I used. So let's do that. So okay, so if token is not equal to anything, then we say actions, and then we just, that's it, actions dot, and it goes. Okay, we say login. Else they're logged in. And then we can return, the action we can return is type not logged, not signed in. Okay, else that they're signed in, so now we trigger the other action, which is we get the key and we add it to the state. So add key to props. We don't need to do anything if we're logged in. We only need to redirect them to the other page. Get token. So let's add this, check if signed in. And let's make a get token. Get token epic. Get token gets the token. Actually, no, I'm bad. I don't need to make this. We already have the token here. We do. Can we grab? Actually, we can look at the action. Oh. Okay. Then we dispatch. So if they're logged in and we got the token, we want to add that to the props. So add token to props. Then we pass in the token that we got. Okay. That works nicely, so let's refresh this and see what happens. Okay, the user's logged in. That's how we would expect it. Now let's go to routes, home, view, mutation. How did I do this before? I want to pass in a variable now. Mutation. So mutation $, token is equal to string. Okay, that's easy. And then token is equal to $token. Mutate. And I pass in variables, right? Variables. Token is equal to ownProps.token. Alrighty. Now refresh the page. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's do React Native log iOS. Okay. We push the button, and what happened? Possibly unhindered network request failed. So that's possibly because there's some kind of syntax error here. It's console.log ownProps.token. Make sure that's an actual thing. Click on that, and it's undefined. So it's not being mapped to the props. The state's not. Okay, so let's just print out what ownProps includes. Refresh. Okay. I think what I need to do is just grab it, routes, login. No, this will be home, index. Token is equal to state.token. think I just need to map that like that. And then if I do store, we can go into routes, make this faster. Log in. No, this is home. Home view. Now try that. Oh, we didn't get an error message here. Let's see what the log says. And look at that. We can create to-dos from our app now. That is really cool. So we successfully authenticated our user then. And I can just create a couple if I want. I can just create 7 of them. And that's just amazing. That is really cool. Okay, so we did a bunch of the heavy lifting now. So now we can just like basically make a pretty UI to go over this. And we have like a basic to-do structure. So let's do that. So let's pick out some components that we want. Come over here and create, I kind of want it like almost like a form, but not really. I just want an input button. Form elements, we might be doing a form element. We might be doing a form input again to create the to-do. Yeah, let's do that right now. For now, anyway. So this is like our little wrapper. Actually, there's not much going on in this function. So we can just like put our components in here. Okay. So what is going to go where? To build this, I want, so do we have form label? We do. So put this here. And I think I just want to like copy kind of how we did the thing before. Not the thing before, but how we did login. So let's split screen this. There we go, that's better split. Source, routes, login, view. And then we're going to touch home, view as well. Okay. So we can take this text field, you can use something like that. And maybe we actually export text field to like, because like I'm bringing this over here, we should export this to a file maybe. We can do that later if we need to use it more. That might be a good idea though. And what was I going to do next? We actually need to make a field. So this is going to be to do component text field. Alright. And we need to create an on submit too. Create handle submit, submit values, and you want to pass any props to this? Let's see. So we can copy the submit up here. It's not just to do. Actually, we should just call it text. If text.email, if not, then we will create to do passing in just the, we don't need to pass anything actually. Oh, but we should be passing in the text and true. Oh no, false, because it's not complete at first. So we got this going, so I can just full screen. Not login failed, this is empty to do. So text, which is a string, and then we can also do this for complete, $complete, and $complete is a boolean, and that is required. Oops. $text, complete, $complete. Now down here, pass in the variables, text complete. Okie dokie, let's render this. So I just need to, something with my render function, just need to wrap all these in a view. They can't all be on the same level. There needs to be basically one outer tag. Handle submit. This dot props dot this dot props dot create to do. Handle submit is not a function. Oh, we need to create this as a form. Home. Okay, so we don't actually const home. There we go. We don't need to make this a real function. Don't need that. Well, I hate how flux keeps popping up. Alright, tab that over. Alright, cool. So they pass in the props, and here we can grab handle, submit, and create to do. And now this is actually a redux form. So let's add that syntax to the bottom. Oops. Redux. You know what? Actually, this will be call it home for now. There we go. Let's refresh that. Go shopping. Create. And can now up React Native blog iOS. And we created a to-do. Awesome. Now let's show all the to-dos that the user has down here. So that requires two different things. I already know I wanted to make this like a real-time to-do app. So let's do, I haven't actually done this before, but I heard there's something called Apollo subscriptions. Apollo client, which we can use for real-time stuff. So I want to see if we can use this. Clients specify the data they'd like to subscribe to by sending a query with subscription keyword to the server. Based on the subscription field name and a mapping from subscriptions, the server subscribes one or more. When something is published to one of these channels, the server runs the calculation and subscriptions and a result to the client. Very cool. On the client developer just has the name of the subscription and irrelevant. Subscriptions, unlike, can deliver more than one result, so a long-lived connection is necessary. In our implementation, we use WebSocket connection. The npm package we created. Okay. Take advantage of subscription, we made an npm package called subscription transport, which implements the website subscription protocol. We can use that package to add subscriptions capabilities. Okay, so we have to add some extra stuff. Alright, so let's add this stuff. So yarn add, I'll download that for us. And then let's add this. Now if we go to client, which we created in our reducers, we can import this stuff. Huh. Const new WebSocket client. Localhost 30. Notice it doesn't point to GraphQL. Create network interface UE. Okay, so this just does that. This does that. Okay, let's just try it. So we create a new thing. Ours is at 3030. And then we just do slash GraphQL. And then in our network interface, just copy that. I don't think we need this network interface anymore. So now we create like an Apollo client. Network interface is equal to, okay, network interface with subscriptions. Okay, so now I think we have subscriptions set up. Hey, thanks Interx. I'm glad you enjoy it. Let's get rid of this. Now, we'll use subscriptions called comment added as example. Our subscription listens for new comments on the comment page for a specific repository. On the client, we use subscriptions API. Okay. Component did mount. This dot subscribe. So how are they creating this? Subscribe repo name. Oh, okay. Update query function. Why are we passing in a repo name? Oh, do we have to actually set up stuff on the server? It doesn't just automatically do that. That's going to be annoying. On the server, we need to start a WebSocket server that implements the subscriptions protocol and the subscription package. To make each part as usual as also we separate GraphQL and the published parts. Okay, so before we try implementing the client, let's get the server set up. The part that actually handles the subscription is a package called GraphQL subscription, so that has to be import. I wonder if they have better documentation on this, if they actually have documentation instead of just a Medium article. I don't like how much work it is to add subscriptions to this. Alright, they don't have anything for subscriptions in their docs yet, it doesn't look like. See if anyone's done anything with Feathersjs before. This looks general. This looks like something else as well. This is fun. Fun little setup there. Real nasty. So can we do this with just Feathersjs WebSockets then? Not easily, because then we wouldn't be doing it with GraphQL. Okay. What the heck. I just muscled through it and go through and add this to their server. See if we can figure this out. Kind of want to go through from the GitHub, looked a lot less lengthy for the server setup. Client browser. Alright, so let's start messing with the server. Did I install Yarn for this yet? Yes, I have. So let's add this package. Replace your GraphQL. Replace with your GraphQL schema object. Pub sub. Starting the server, create a new simple subscription manager as pub sub implementation. Alright, we can go to source, services, our GraphQL service. So let's look at the index for a second. I think we're going to be doing stuff here. I'm not really sure what this step right here does. Oh, it looks like we use it here. Subscription manager is equal to new subscription manager. How come okay, so subscription manager here is equal to new subscription manager. Here, subscription manager is equal to new subscription server. What's going on here? This documentation is not very clear. Let's go back to this real quick. They look like they set it up in one thing. Setup functions, we don't have to worry about setup functions, I don't think. Pub sub, export, subscription manager, and pub sub. Really? Where are they using it though? Alright, let's just copy this. Before I just copy this over and start using it, I want to understand it better. So we're creating a server. Write head 404 response.end. Okay. And then we're telling it to listen on port 5000. Console.log. That's fine. Path. Create regular network interface. by using Apollo's API. Now we use subscriptions as the client side, use Apollo client with subscribe or subscribe more. These docs are very convoluted. So our GraphQL endpoints is /GraphQL. So this one's kind of interesting. Their WebSocket is at a different place than their GraphQL one. No, because this is at port 5000, this is at port 3000. Where do we pass the schema into this? I think I pass it in here. Okay, I think I kind of get what we have to do. I'm going to copy this. And then we're also doing some stuff here. Create server from HTTP. So let's download these two. So we're going to install these two packages. Screw that. And this guy as well. Okay, so it's telling me about this HTTP I already have or something. Looks like it should be fine though. Just a warning. Okay, so we imported those correctly. Schema, which we get from here. Pass in the pub sub. Oops. Sure, let's put our port, let's just go straight from this. Let's do port 5000. But actually, let's create this after we create our GraphQL endpoints, because I think they might use it. Oops. Get rid of this. Okay. This looks fine. This looks fine. Subscription server on connect. Implement if you need to handle and manage connections. We don't. Subscription manager. server is WebSocket server. Path is just that. Okay. Oops, sorry guys, I keep going over to the wrong one. Okay, let's call that good, because I don't know. What else we would do. Let's just start it. See if it starts up. We have a problem. Kind of expected that. We're doing some weird stuff. Async function. Okay, let's just not worry about that because it said move npm debug. Just do the subscription manager. So I'm just removing that on connect. Warning, the printer exports from will be removed in the next version. C. Warning, the printer exports from will be removed. I don't see, where are we using printer? I don't think that's something from us. Okay, we're now on localhost 5000 too. So now we can come back over here and we can create the client. So we keep this the same. Network oops. So this is PHP localhost 3030. We keep that the same. This is now at 5000. This is where our sockets are. Reconnect is equal to true. Do we care about any of that stuff? This is WS client. That's new. Oh, new subscription client? We just create a regular client. Alright, let's create a subscription client. I don't know why the regular client was just there. New subscription client. Subscription. New subscription client. And let's do that. That sounds fine. Let's reconnect. Add GraphQL subscriptions. We're doing that. And okay, it looks like we're doing this. We're matching. Now when you want to use subscriptions in the client side, you use Apollo client. Oh, before I even do anything else, let's just reload this and make sure this actually doesn't crash. Okay, it doesn't. That's cool. Alright. Modify the store and return new state with new archive data. Okay. So Apollo client.subscribe to more subscriptions. Did I do all? No. The viewer? How do I get the to-dos? Oh, this is gonna be a problem. How do we actually get, oh, this should be under query. We actually just have one query, which is the user. We have to pass in a token. So we might need to create a new mutation or new query that basically gets my token or my to-dos. But we can do that with viewer right now. Okay, so what my worry is right now is I can copy this, paste this over here, but I don't think it's going to work how we think it's going to work. So if I go into, I'm just going to copy and paste this whole thing because why not? Let's put in this thing for now. Yeah, sure, let's do it in the constructor just to test it out. Apollo client. So that's client. .subscribe more. We import the JQL. Get rid of this. Get rid of a couple tabs. So subscription on a query? How does this work? We might have to dig deeper into this. I don't think I'm doing it right. Viewer, pass in the token, whatever it is. Oh, we don't even need to. We can just subscribe like that. I just wanted to see why it's not. All we care about is the to-dos, which is going to be get the text and the complete. Okay. So copy this. This is the query I'd like to do. And we'd like to do subscriptions. So what do I do? Subscription. Subscription. You're passing the variables. Token. I kind of need to wait and do this. I need to do this when it loads. How was I triggering that other thing? We are never calling check if login. This epic is not being run. Hold up for a second. Let's comment this out. Just had like a crazy realization. I thought it was working for whatever reason. It's not. Tab that over. Okay, so I was thinking that my epic, this thing is running, it's doing its thing, all that jazz. Check if signed in is never actually, this action is never being done, I don't think. I'm just going to create a reducer. Not a reducer, I'm just going to log. Say log in the reducer, that's fine. Okay, we're already doing that. So React Native log iOS. That finish. See, check is not doing anything. Reload. Yeah, never checks. Why was I thinking it was checking? So the token, how is the token getting passed to the props? How is the token in the state right now? Hold on, I just need to make sure that to-do list items are in the database real quick. Yeah, they're in here. Somehow. Here we go. They have no owner ID. Oh, we're not authenticating. We're not authenticating the token. We're not authing it. Okay, let's fix that. Let's twofold. We need to fix multiple things. Let's fix the server first. So yeah, let's go down source services GraphQL. Is it index that we were doing then? Token provider. That's fine. Index resolvers. Provider is equal to context.provider. How is to-dos being created? I thought it was guarded. Should be a hook. Yeah, we are verifying token on all of them. We're doing this. How is it getting past this? I don't understand. Then passing the resolvers. Console.log token. Just see the token that we're getting. That we're getting passed. Okay, now let's start this up. Now from this side, let's actually pass the token in. So index, oops. So we gotta grab the token. And this is what I was having a problem with before, because now we have to actually create basically something to map to the props. That'll be over here actually. There we go. Create those two guys. Create two functions here. One of the actions is going to be, oh, this is nasty. This is just nasty. I don't want to do this here. I shouldn't be coding this here. I'm just going to get rid of it. I should be writing cleaner code. Basically, I want to dispatch an action right here. Do I know anything about React Fiber? No, I've never heard of React Fiber. What's React Fiber? So we need to find the best way to dispatch an action right here now. We need to connect it with this. Okay, we're gonna do it like this. So right now we're importing the route. Let's say app container. No, this is so bad. How do we want to program this? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do it like this because... So we're going to create actions.js, and we're going to touch. We're going to copy. We're going to move index to view.js and copy routes dot home index here. Our view we're going to keep the same. Now we can say this dot props dot check if signed in. Check if signed in. So export check. Oh, that's what this checked if signed in is going to do. Actions. Wait, where do we name the action? We map it to props. I'm having just like a total blank for a second here. Okay, we do it like that, okay. Const check if signed in is equal to, we're going to pass nothing in, and we're going to return type check if signed in. Let's see if that's what we used. Source reducer token, add token to props. Check if signed in. So these actions match up. So that's all we need to do. That's all we need to do there. And then in our index, let's actually get a better index. Copy from our routes, sign up. No, let's get our login one. There we go. I think we've done a lot of changes. I should be committing more. Either way, let's run this. Unexpected token actions. I just need to wrap this in parentheses. Could not find store in either context or props. Oh, because this is the outer one. We can't do this here. Oh boy. This is a mess. This particular thing is a mess. Okay, let's just do it in home. Move index. So move actions to routes home. Move index to routes home. move view to index.js. So index will stay the same. Check if signed in, we'll do that from home. So this will be an index. Nope. Routes, home, view. Oh, I need to dispatch an action. It's quite annoying. Check if signed in. Check if signed in. Okay. See if that works. Alright, we don't get any problem there. Cannot update during an existing state transition. What does that mean? Is that because of that? I'll just see what happens when we create this. Well, nothing's being sent to the server. That's for sure. See if anything's going to the log. Okay, let's actually just type it. React log iOS. Let's just refresh. So we added the token to the props. Let me click that. Apollo mutation error. Possible failed request. Warning, cannot update during an existing state transition window. Should be pure. Component will mount. Okay. I think what it doesn't like is I'm putting check if sign in right here. I'm pretty sure if I just comment that out, that's what was causing the problem. Yeah, because it kept checking if they were signed in as I was typing, I think. And we only need to do that once. Let's create a class here. So class, call it home, extends react dot component render, and then component will mount, and then we want to call this check if sign in. This dot props dot. And this is just a form, right? And this is let's put this at the very bottom. So this is going to be, this is a form that we want to use in here. Const form is equal to export export default. Return. Ooh, what did I just push? Okay. And we basically want to render this form in here. I don't even know if we can. What are we calling this? Home form, call it. It's a pure function. Right here, this is form, const form. Should we create this as a function? I think we should. Home form. Redux-form, home form. What is the naming convention we're going to use here? So we're calling this home form right here. And then we're wrapping it. Let's call it form. Is there anything that conflicts with the name? Nope. Form. Let's see if that will render. Expected a component, got object. Still didn't work. How are we going to use this? Okay, let's get rid of all this junk real quick. Okay, so we have this view thing working, right? So cd into routes home make dir components move view to components form. What is this to do form? We should capitalize that, components to do form. Okay, so to do form is looking quite snazzy. So import React from React and import, what was it? To do form from components / to do. So create a class, call it home, extends react.component, component will mount this props.check if signed in. And then a render function, return to do form. So basically we're just wrapping our class in a form, or wrapping our pure function in a non-pure function. We just need to export this. So just to explain again what I did is we basically needed to use component will mount for this to do form, but the form needed to be pure. So what I did is I basically just made this little wrapper for it. Create. And we're getting an error. Let's see if, nope, it's not even going to the server. Ensure you've been rendered at least once before snapshotting. Alright. Oh. Is index token is equal to state.token. Now try it. We just need to map that, I believe. Nope, still. Okay, so what I think is the error is happening, so let's confirm we're actually getting the error we think we are. So I think token, this is undefined. I think this is going to print undefined. So let's make sure it is. Okay, it is undefined. So we just need to figure out how to add token to the props, because right now it's not being added to the props. Oh, I know why. Hee hee. So this wrapper, the props are going here. So I'm going to say this props. You just need to pass the props down. I'm thinking. And bam! Look at that token. I know I was so excited and I said bam before, but now it actually looks like it's working. Let's get rid of the token. Let's make sure this is doing what we think it is. Notice how it grabbed the ID? That's exactly what we wanted. Okay. So it is working now. At least that small part of it. So we're checking if it's signed in okay. So now subscriptions. Back to subscriptions. I think I set up the subscriptions thing. Let's do some get status. Let's create a get ignore. Or not create, but add to it. Dot turn port. We don't need to add that. Get status. Wait, why is turn port still showing up? Added to the get ignore. We are in the same folder, right? Okay, that has the turn port not there, so let's get commit over here. So what did we do since the last version? Started implementing GraphQL subscriptions. Create to-dos. And anything else? Save token. And check if logged in. Those are some big ones. Okay. So now we actually want to do subscription stuff. I also want to check to make sure it redirects okay if we're not logged in. So I guess we'd have to like delete the app, but we can do that later. Delete the app from the little iPhone emulator and restart it. Let's kill this text. So subscriptions. Let's do that. Let's just pass in a working token to see if it's working. We can just hard code it. For now. I just want to see if this method works. put some logs to see if this actually works. Variables, don't worry about it. Okay. This get token from storage? I don't think. Do we do that? No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Get rid of that. Get token from storage is not a thing. Alright, let's just see what happens with this. No variables. Let's get a token. So let's log in. Come on, I just want to do React Native log iOS. So refresh the page. Subscriptions to more is not a function. Subscribe to more is not a function. So wait, subscribe to more isn't a function? What? What? It literally tells me to subscribe to more. Apollo client. And we didn't set it up correctly then. From reducers index. Then reducers. Guys, look. This is literally the client I'm exporting. Just like this. It doesn't have subscribe to more. I did spell it right, right? Subscribe to more. Subscribe to more. So subscribe to more. If you don't use any package, you'll still have to use this package by using unpackaged service. I don't understand. Some fancy looking code. Is that Angular? Look kind of like React. Okay, so this is actually just not an error people have had. Go away. Running application to do with app params is undefined. So this function just does not exist that they told me to use. That's confusing. Let's go to the Medium article. Yeah, the Medium article does stuff differently. Maybe we'll try this. Okay, either way, I'm gonna finish here for now. In the next video, we'll be working on getting subscriptions working and trying some different stuff with that. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.